Hello members, welcome back to another week with OJ Merge. Today the topic is going to be traits that a man looks for in a keeper. How to know if you're a keeper. If you're not a keeper and you're wanting to become a keeper, what you might need to do. So that's what we're going to get into today, and it's going to be juicy.
You can start it off. What are the first couple of traits that you think a man look for in a woman, just from your perspective?
Right off top, ladies, one trait that a man is going to look for in a keeper is a woman that makes him feel good. And that's not just a trait exclusive to men. That's actually a human trait. That's a trait whether you're dating a Caribbean man, whether you're dating a man from Canada, Ireland, Africa. It's human nature to want to be around somebody that makes you feel good. So, ladies, if you have a tendency to disrespect men or disregard them, or maybe you just have some resentment built up, you could have been raised by a single mother and your first impression of men maybe was a little bit warped. So once you got into your relationships in the dating world, you really did not have a good impression of men. So the first step is going to be to get out of that hate men mind frame, and some men have to do this too, but today we're not talking to the men, we're talking to you ladies. You know, if it's been embedded in you to hate men or to believe that men are just no good or men are designed to do you wrong, you are going to have a perception that men are bad.
Yeah.
And if you have that perception, it's going to show in how you treat men. So number one, a man is going to be looking for a woman that makes him feel good about himself. And in order to do that, you have to feel good about that man. And it starts with not believing that all men are bad or out to get you.
Okay. You said something very important in that, and you will have a female that will ask you, okay, I could speak to him in that way, but what if he's lacking something and I want to encourage him? How do I encourage him without him feeling some type of way? What are some of the ways that a female could probably go to their spouse or partner to encourage him but not make it sound too harsh if he's lacking in certain area, or she wants him to be more ambitious or more, driven?
Yeah.
Without him feeling offensive? Because oftentimes females will go to their partner, and try to, just say things to encourage them to move, to, be a little bit more driven, and they will take that offensive and then react in an aggressive way. How can a female, encourage her spouse without him feeling some type of way?
Yeah. So it's really just about how you say things, ladies. And of course, a lot of what we're saying in this video can also be said to men. So I don't want anybody to think that it's a double standard or, oh, ladies, you are responsible for all of this stuff. No, it takes two in a relationship. But today we're talking to you specifically. So when it comes to giving your man constructive criticism, talk to him how you would want to be talked to. It's one thing to say, oh, you never do this, or you never do that, or, I wish you would take out the trash sometimes and get off your ass. Some women, your first instinct when you're coming from a place of maybe exhaustion because you work hard, you have a lot on your plate, your first instinct may be to snap, but then you have to think about, how would I want to be talked to? And how would I receive it if somebody was speaking to me in such a harsh way?
Yes.
So, key takeaway here, ladies, is when you are talking to your man, there's a way to ask him to improve upon things by just simply lending a soft word and saying, baby, I would really appreciate if you would take the trash out for me. Even if you forget sometimes, I have a really hard time remembering, so I would love if you could do it and we could at least try to keep each other accountable. And so, there's a way. I don't know if I explained that properly, but
yes,
maybe you
did
could. Maybe you
great
could.
expression. See, men are different. You got the typical dude that is probably smoother on the edges that you can take certain approach to. Then you got the guy that is kind of rough around the edges, that it's kind of more complicated to probably say certain things to, that's going to give you a certain response. So yes, approach is everything, and I would say to every woman that has been dating, a guy or whoever, it is, that person. You know to get that person calm. You know that person in their calmness. You know when to communicate. You probably should know how to communicate. How are the times that you say, nice things to him that, allow him to be calm and react or respond? Go to him in that same way with whatever you want to say to him, to encourage him or whatever it is, Use the same tone that keeps him at a level, I would say, when you go about it. And you should be okay executing that.
Yeah, and like they say, don't fight fire with fire, or at least try not to. So there's a lot of power in just being gentle, being soft, explaining to your man why you need him to do something rather than barking a task at him. And then of course there are different types of men. So you might have men that are a little bit more stubborn, or just a little bit more, just hard-headed. There's a such thing as hard-headed kids. Well, sometimes hard-headed kids grow up into hard-headed adults. And they're just hard to talk to or relay a message to or get anything, accomplished with. So in that case, you might have to take a more stern approach. And I think that some women are really good at being assertive without coming across as naggy or just overbearing, and that brings us into what? I don't know. We're not even going to number this because I feel like we're just going to be throwing traits out there. And it's really hard to keep track of it. But
and some will take a little bit more explanation than some. Okay. Men oftentimes look for a family-oriented woman. Meaning, he wants to know that you're in tune, because men, we are aggressive creature at time, we are protective beings at time, but we got that little soft spot that only mama tap into sometimes. So a family-oriented woman sometimes, once you see that, she is able to, she's close with the family, the way she do things, she might have little siblings, or she have a family, at home, have relatives at home that she, treat a certain type of way. She's caring, she do certain little things to, make the whole soul a little bit more tender. When I say that, meaning,
just nurturing.
Yes, just nurturing, just kind the way she go about certain things. She will speak she will speak family. She will speak family into him at times. Even if they don't have any kids, she will speak about family. She will share stories, of her being around her family, being a certain type of way, and the generosity, the tenderness, the heartwarming, the person that he can go and talk to. All of that is being family oriented, being the woman that he can go to and speak to about certain things and not feel no type of way. Just like how a typical man would go to his mother, because oftentimes guys would prefer to have conversation with their moms more than have conversation with their dad, just because of how it is. So normally when a female is like that, is that give you that warmth, give you that openness to go to her to have those conversations. Sometimes that is a valuable asset that a man marks down and know that, well, I could talk to her about certain things, me and her could have certain conversation. That is a big one in there for a man, because as men, we don't open up enough. But if we find the right woman that we feel like, okay, I could share certain things with her and I'm not judged, I'm not looked at as a certain way, and we can talk about it, that means a lot. Because you see a lot of men walking around these days, they got a lot of things built up inside. Sometimes they just need somebody to talk to about it, and to find that candidate is tough, because either whatever he's carrying around is probably overbearing to him, or probably let somebody else look at him a certain type of way. So they need that family oriented woman that is nurturing, is kind, is warm.
Yeah, I like that you pointed that out, because yes, ladies, a lot of times, right, if you're in a predicament and you're thinking everything's perfect, everything's great, but I wonder, why maybe the guy that I'm interested in long term maybe doesn't see me as a keeper. What is it about me that's keeping him from seeing me as a keeper? And one of those traits, as O mentioned, is he's looking for the nurturer in you. He's not looking for a mother, right? But the world is so crazy, it's so chaotic. Life itself throws its own set of challenges at each and every one of us. A man is looking for a safe place where he can release, relax,
unpack all things. Yes.
Decompress. Now, if he's thinking, oh, everything is so great about my girl, except I don't see a space in her life I don't see anywhere in her life where she's created a safe space for me. If I need to lay my head on somebody's shoulder, if I need to cry, if I need to express something. And they want to know that if y'all have kids together, for example, or if he buys a home for you, or y'all buy a home together, are you going to be able to make that house into a home? You know, are you going to be motherly if we have kids? Are you going to be nurturing? Are you going to create an environment where the world just doesn't seem so big and bad anymore? So if it's always a fight, if you're always an aggressor, if you're always hard, not in touch with your own emotions, can't even cry to him or tell him what's upsetting you, the first thing he's gonna think is, okay, she's not even in touch with her own emotions, so I know my emotions aren't safe there because she don't have nowhere for her own. So that's definitely something to think about.
Most definitely.
The next thing I would definitely say that a man is looking for in a keeper is loyalty. He wants to know that if he brings you in as his own, to call you his long-term committed partner or his wife, he wants to know that you are not for the streets. Is there a nicer way to say that? Probably.
Yes.
But he wants to know that you are not going to be promiscuous. You're not going to be out there looking for other candidates after y'all two have settled down together. You know, and he needs to feel that confidence in you that you're not going to be on the prowl after he commits to you. And I think that's one of a man's biggest fears, is that he's going to pick the wrong woman who's not going to be committable, and then he's going to be either humiliated, betrayed, embarrassed, etc.
Loyalty is definitely big, and I'm going to tell you why.
And how big is it on the list?
Super big, because it's even attached to the one that we just mentioned. If you're not loyal, a man won't open up to you. Even if you're a nurturer, you can be nurturing but not loyal. Therefore, if I could always come to you and tell you something because you have the ear for it, but if you will take that information and take it somewhere else to somebody else, then it's problems. If I could share certain things with you and you take that to someone else, not being loyal, then that's a big problem. Then it eliminates everything. So loyalty is super big. A lot of men walk around sometimes, and a female might say, he's so quiet. You know, it's not that majority of the time guys are just quiet because they want to be quiet around females, around a certain type of female. It's the fact that sometimes they will, you know, they are doing their own analysis on the things that you say, how you move. What can he say to you? Will he say something to you, say to somebody else? Are you there for him? Or are you there for something else? You know, a man have a lot of responsibility, and he needs a loyal woman to, you know, just as the first one that we mentioned, you need a loyal woman to unpack some of those things, because if you're not loyal, whatever he say to you, whatever he do, whatever he gives to you is all for nothing. And an unloyal woman make a dangerous man. Without communication, sometimes a female will just get up and leave without telling you know, a man what's the problem, what's going on, and a guy will consider that to be, you know, disloyal. Because if you were loyal, then you'll communicate what's going on, and either we deal with it or we jointly separate. But if you're disloyal, you know, you'll just get up and say, I don't care, or whatever it is, and then leave. And as I said again, a disloyal female make a dude a ticking time bomb.
Yeah, ladies. So, you know, if you are finding that you're at a time in your life where you're not really ready, like you're still looking at all the men and thinking, oh, candy, 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 you know, then it's something to think about. It's something to ask yourself, okay, maybe I'm not ready yet to be somebody's long-term committed partner, but I want to be. So maybe you need to get that out of your system, or maybe you need to really sit down and figure out, why is it that I want to be with, why do I want to date / sleep with all these men at the same time? If that's something that you're doing, ask yourself what's going on within yourself that is a deficit. Why is there a deficit there where you're looking to fill a void in that manner?
Honesty is a big thing, and it's different from being loyal, because honesty is an everyday thing. Honesty is in everything on a daily basis. From going to the drive-thru, baby, you hungry, you want something? No, I really don't want it. To, I really wanted it, but I didn't know what it is. And no, I didn't get anything. Can I have some of yours? And it's probably from the smallest thing to the biggest problem that there is.
Yeah, honesty is a big one, and it goes like you said. It's as little as if something's bothering you, that you think, oh, let me not mention it because it might rock the boat or it might create an argument. Speak up. Now, as we mentioned, there's a way to speak up, and you're not going to be perfect about it all the time. You're not always going to be able to think about what you say before you say it, how the other person is going to receive it, your tone, your facial expression. That's a lot to think about all at once to have the perfect delivery. But it can be done on occasion, and with practice, you could have more positive experience than negative ones. But when it comes to honesty and being upfront with your partner and telling him or her, but for the sake of this video, him, telling him what's on your mind, what's bothering you, what's affecting you, what some of your fears are. I mean, at a human level, a lot of what we do is based on fear or our past experiences, so it's just about being as transparent as possible, because the more transparent you are, right, the better your partner knows you.
Most definitely.
People aren't realizing that the more you know about me, good, bad, and indifferent, the more you know, so that we can start working together in a more unified manner.
Facts. Practice honesty. Sometimes, certain things come with practice. Not everybody just treat right, just like to be honest.
Some people are born just so upfront, right? Some people are born so blunt and direct.
It's good to be honest. As I said, baby, do you like this? Yes. You don't. But just because you feel like, it might hurt her feelings or it might hurt his feelings, then you're gonna say, yeah, I like it, when deep down I ain't wearing that. I ain't doing that. So from something that small, to a decision that might be life-changing, it's just good to be honest, man. When you were a little kid growing up, your parents always say honesty is the best policy, and sometimes it's good to be honest off the jump. Be honest from the beginning. Be honest.
If you hate sports, say you hate sports. Stop sitting down with this man for 3 hours straight, next to him on the couch, while he yells at the TV and you stare blankly because you hate sports.
For 3 hours, when you want to do something else with your time. And when you finish watching that game and he said, did you enjoy it? Yes, man. When you know that I really didn't enjoy it, I had some laundry to go do, I had something to go do, or I wanted to go somewhere else for that 3 hours, but it is what it is. You can be honest. You can say, babe, you know what? I really don't want to watch this damn sports, but I'm going to do it because I know that you'll enjoy my time if I'm here watching with you. Sometimes it's the approach. Approach is king. Be honest the best way you can, because a man loves an honest woman. You meet a man, you're in a situation that you feel like it's not at an end point yet, but it's getting there. Don't tell that man, I'm single. No, tell him straightforward. I'm in a situation, it's about to be over. It's up to you if you want to, pursue what you are pursuing or whatever it is, but at least you get the idea. Don't let that man show up one day and then see you with that situation that you're trying to get rid of and throw a fit or a tantrum. No, you have 2 man button heads and crazy things could come from that. Always be honest. And men, same thing. If you're in a situation and present it. Present it and let a woman know, hey, this is what it is. There's no room for you, or there is room for you, but I got this going on. So if you are okay with this, because some people are in open situations where they could fit things in, or whatever the situation is. If that's something for you, that is something for you. But always be honest, you know, from the smallest thing to the largest thing. And we know nobody imperfect, but make sure to do your best in being honest. The most a person could say, well, at least she was honest. That means when tough situation comes and you have to explain yourself, y'all can sit down and have an honest conversation, and you ain't got a second guess. Is she lying or is he lying? You just know that this is an honest conversation. It's going to be critical and it's going to be, you know, whatever it is, but at least the conversation is honest.
Yeah.
And once you get to honesty, you can work things out, because everything is on the table to be worked out. There's no hidden pieces. There's no part of the puzzle that needs to be filled in. Everything is there. Now what can we do with these pieces that we have?
Yeah, and I think a man respects that, the honesty. And the beautiful thing about honesty is once you get in a habit of just being true, you know, not just to your partner but to yourself, because sometimes when you're lying, you're not really lying to nobody but yourself. So just getting in that habit of speaking up and saying, hey, this is who I am, or this is what bothers me, or this is what I didn't like, or these are my flaws, or these are my insecurities, hence why I might behave this way. You know, once those lines of communication are open, again, your person starts to see you in a different light. It may not always be pretty and clean and pristine and, you know, fabulous. Everything's not always going to be like that, but at least that person knows your truth and y'all can work together, because that's really what relationships are about, is two imperfect people coming together to accept each other and to make each other better. But you can't do that under the pretenses of falsehood.
Exactly. But being honest is big. There's a lot of people walking around with some crazy secrets and some crazy heavy heart, because, you know, we just spoke of unpacking. There's a lot of people walking around with a lot of things that they need to unpack in their marriage, unpack in their relationship, unpack in their situationship, unpack in just everyday life. And it might be a relationship thing, it might be a family thing, but there's a lot of people that walking around with heavy
all because
secrets,
they will not
burdens,
talk to their partner.
And you never know the outcome. You just never know the outcome. Sometimes the outcome is way easier than carrying it around. So the best thing to do is be honest. And if you can be honest up close, if it's something that you feel like, no, I can't say this to this person in person, say it over the phone. Say it from a distance. Write a letter and send it. Do something. Text it. But being honest, you know, is the best policy there.
Okay. Yeah. And I wanted to touch on something else, but I don't want to linger on it. But when it comes to the loyalty thing, just you being a heavy flirt is enough for a man to say, yeah, I liked her, and I might keep rocking with her, but probably not gonna commit to her, you know? And these are things nobody tells you. You know, you probably been getting some bad advice. I know some people think, well, there's nothing wrong with a little flirting. You know, you gotta keep them a little bit jealous, you know. But these things are actually very dangerous, and it is manipulative when you go about it that way. A man who's thinking about commitment in the future, he's not gonna want a woman that's too overly friendly with the opposite sex. And some of y'all are not gonna like that, because some of y'all have y'all male friends. Some of y'all have a big network of friends of the opposite sex, and you probably think it's harmless, or what your partner thinks is flirting, you think it's not flirting. But if you're serious about a future with this person, understand that most men are not overly excited about committing to a woman that seems like she is, you know, just overly friendly with the opposite sex.
Yes, ladies. And just to add to that point,
and I should have put that with that, but
there are
this video
a lot of men that are confident. There are a lot of men that are confident. But there are more men, I would feel, that is not all the time confident, that has confidence issue. No, if your man is confident, he will understand that, okay, that's my woman and that's what it is regardless. Now, if you're with a man that is not that much confident, then that could definitely be a problem. Sometimes you gotta build your man confidence up first before you do certain things. Confidence building, big. Sometimes it's not even a man thing. Sometimes it's the same thing with a woman. People have flaws. Some people's self-esteem needs to be built sometimes. In relationships, sometimes we come across some people that we care about and we have a lot of, love for that person. In that person's mind, they have won the lottery. In that person's mind, I don't deserve this person. In that person's mind, they don't have enough confidence to feel appreciated, like this situation is for me.
But you are not responsible.
You are
for
not
fixing
responsible
somebody's broken confidence
for that. No, you're not.
or
But
self-esteem.
if you are in a relationship with and that's where honesty comes in again. If you're in a relationship with a person that has problem with that type of confidence, it's okay to work with them. You are not responsible, but it's okay to work with that person to build their confidence. It could be a male, it could be a female, so confidence is big to build in a situation or a scenario like that, and it's okay. No, when it comes down to the confident man, I would always say females and males at that, do what you would want the other person to do. So as a female, if you feel like, okay, it's cool to, flirt a little bit, get him a little bit jealous, accept the fact to yourself that it's cool for him to flirt, to make you a little bit jealous. Man, if you feel to yourself that it's okay, she can see me hitting on these females right here just to get her, riled up a little bit. Understand that when she do the same thing, you feel the same way you feel, putting it across.
Yeah, it has to
always
be
make it be a level
give
playing
and
field.
take. Yes.
Always make sure whatever step you take, make it be a level playing field. Always reflect. Would I like this? Would I do that? Would she like this? If I do this and I feel some type of way, if she do it, she should feel some type of way. I always make it be a level playing field. Because sometimes we come across instances in life where you do something, it affects the other person differently. Because that person would never think to probably do that because they probably was thinking about he wouldn't like that or she wouldn't like that. But we do it nonetheless just to see what it is.
Yes. Another trait that I would say men look for in women is somebody that's a good representative. And I just think all of these things tie in together. Like we talked about loyalty, honesty, communication. It all ties in together. But when it comes to just being a good representative, every man has a vision of the woman that he wants to commit.
It's another trait. A man loves a woman that is, multifaceted. She could be the mother today. She could be the classy lady when we get to a place that is classy. We go to the club, she throw it on the dance floor with you, so you have a great damn time. When we hit the bedroom, it's another lady that comes up. Are you me lover, you me want to be my only chick. Girl, give me your finger, me have to put a ring on it. Night nurse, me addicted to your nightly trick. Never get a loving like this, like this.